Mike Tyson had faced champions, assassins in gloves, and legends who tried to break him. But one night, a different kind of threat stepped forward. A man twice his size, louder than the crowd, built like a comic book monster. This wasn't just a fight, it was a collision of fear. The crowd didn't know how to react at first. When Bob Sapp walked out, it didn't feel like a traditional boxing or fighting entrance. It felt like something had escaped containment. The camera struggled to frame him properly. His shoulders filled the screen. His chest looked carved out of stone. He wasn't just big, he was unnatural. Mike Tyson stood across from him, shorter, leaner, older. But something about Tyson's stillness made the contrast even more unsettling. Sapp bounced, flexed, and roared at the audience like a pro wrestler. Tyson barely moved. This wasn't a normal matchup. Everyone in the building felt it. One man represented chaos, the other represented consequence. And history had taught us something important. Mike Tyson never backed down from fear. He weaponized it. To casual fans, Bob Sapp looked like a novelty, a freak show, a spectacle, a walking meme before memes existed. But that was a mistake. Bob Sapp wasn't just big, he was an elite athlete, a former NFL player, a man who had competed at the highest levels of strength and combat sports. In Japan, he wasn't laughed at, he was feared. Sapp had beaten elite fighters. He had knocked out men who were supposed to embarrass him. And when he talked, it wasn't trash talk. It was intimidation theater. Loud, unhinged, deliberate. He understood psychology. He understood that fear starts before the bell rings. And that night, he aimed all of it at Mike Tyson. This wasn't the 19-year-old Tyson who demolished grown men in seconds. This was an older Tyson, scarred, experienced, carrying the weight of everything he lived through. Fame, prison, chaos, redemption attempts. But here's what many people misunderstood. Older Tyson wasn't weaker, he was colder. The reckless rage had burned away. What remained was something more dangerous: control. Tyson had nothing left to prove, and that made him terrifying. When Sapp tried to intimidate him, Tyson didn't respond with noise. He responded with silence, and silence is often louder than screaming. When the two men stood face to face, the energy shifted. Bob Sapp leaned forward, shouting, flexing, trying to dominate the space. He towered over Tyson. The size difference was absurd, but Tyson didn't flinch. He didn't blink, he didn't step back, he didn't perform. He stared straight through Sapp. It was the kind of look that doesn't challenge you, it judges you. For the first time, Bob Sapp's expression changed, just slightly. Enough for the cameras to catch it. That was the moment the crowd realized something important. Size wasn't going to save Bob Sapp. Quick pause. If you enjoy deep cinematic fight stories like this, hit subscribe and drop a like. These moments aren't just fights, they're history, psychology, and raw human tension, and there's more coming. The bell rang, and suddenly Bob Sapp stopped performing. There's a moment in every fight when reality arrives, when noise fades, where the body understands that this isn't a show anymore. Tyson took a small step forward, not rushing, not charging, just closing distance. Sapp swung wildly, huge looping shots powered by size and adrenaline. Tyson slipped them like he always had. Subtle head movement, tiny steps, perfect balance. This was the difference between strength and skill. When Tyson landed his first clean shot, it wasn't dramatic. No haymaker, no knockout blow, just a compact punch, short, violent, precise. Bob Sapp felt it instantly, not just the pain, the meaning of it. That punch told him something terrifying. This man could reach him whenever he wanted. The giant wasn't invincible anymore. And once that illusion breaks, panic follows. People assume bigger always wins, but in combat sports, size without control is a liability. Bob Sapp carried massive muscle, but muscle burns oxygen fast. Every missed swing drained him. Every failed intimidation attempt cost him energy. Tyson didn't waste motion. He let Sapp tire himself out. He waited, and when the opening appeared, Tyson exploded. There's a specific moment that fighters remember forever. The moment they realize they're in trouble. Not hurt, not losing, but outmatched. For Bob Sapp, it came when Tyson stepped inside his reach, where big men feel safest, and landed again. Short punches, inside shots, no fear. That's when Sapp's body language changed. The roaring stopped, the flexing disappeared, the giant began backing up, and the crowd felt it. Mike Tyson didn't need to knock Sapp out immediately. His presence alone was enough. Every step forward compressed the ring. Every look reminded Sapp of something brutal. This wasn't entertainment anymore. Tyson had fought men who wanted to kill him. A giant didn't scare him. Whether people remember the official outcome or not misses the point. This fight mattered because it showed something timeless. Fear doesn't come from size, it comes from certainty. Bob Sapp relied on chaos. Mike Tyson relied on inevitability, and inevitability always wins. After this fight, fighters talked. Not about punches, not about technique. They talked about presence, about how Tyson never changed who he was, no matter who stood in front of him. That's what broke Sapp before anything physical did. Mike Tyson had always been a giant killer, not because he was fearless, but because he accepted fear and moved anyway. Bob Sapp tried to dominate with volume and intimidation. Tyson dominated with restraint. That contrast decided everything. Years later, people still bring this fight up. Not because it was the most technical, not because it was the most violent, but because it was symbolic. A reminder that hype collapses under pressure. A reminder that real danger doesn't announce itself. This wasn't just a fight lesson, it was a life lesson. The loudest threat is rarely the most dangerous. The calm one usually is. Mike Tyson didn't beat a giant by being bigger. He beat him by being certain. When it ended, Tyson didn't celebrate wildly. He never did. He simply walked away, like a man who had already lived this moment in his head long before it happened. Bob Sapp survived the night, but he never owned it. The night Mike Tyson was challenged by a giant wasn't about size. It was about truth. When fear met experience, experience won. When spectacle met reality, reality crushed it. And that's why this fight still matters. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. More legendary fights, more untold moments, more stories where psychology mattered as much as power. Drop a comment. Who do you think should be next?